One of the important faculties you need to develop for manifestation is your faculty or your capacity for concentration. And before I explain why and how to develop this faculty, first let me explain just very briefly and simply how things are brought into reality. What reality is, as we know, what physical reality is an effect which was brought about by a cause. And the cause comes from our mind, right? The cause comes from our mind. The cause comes from who we're being. And who we're being is essentially our frequency. And our frequency is then printed out in reality. So cause and effect. First there has to be a cause before an effect. Before action, your action is an effect. Anything you see physically is an effect. And all these things have thought behind them. All of these physical things that you see, all the physical actions you're compelled to do, that you do, it has been brought about by thought. So what reality really is frozen frequency, is consolidated frequency essentially. It's solidified thought, solidified imagination. What we see with our eyes through visible light is only a fraction of what is real, because reality isn't fixed. Reality is something that it's a moldable form essentially. So what we see is as a result of past thinking or current thinking, but the thoughts you are holding currently won't be immediately seen. It's going to take some time to kind of consolidate depending on your concentration and your attention. So we only see 0.0035% of reality through visible light, and the rest of that percentage is what we're holding within our mind, is our imagination essentially. So one thing you should always remind yourself of is the fact that nothing in reality is real apart from your imagination. Nothing in reality is real except the fact that it is moldable by you through your imagination. Whether it be you hold positive thoughts or negative thoughts, they will manifest in reality eventually. And there's a degree of mental mastery that comes with manifestation. Not only mental mastery, but mastery of yourself in general. Cultivating that self-discipline, helping you to generate enough conviction within yourself to be able to collapse that space, energetic space between whatever you're holding within yourself internally and whatever you want outside of yourself physically. So that's why self-discipline and self-mastery is important. But the mental mastery part of it is all part of concentration. Now, what concentration is essentially you using conscious willpower to centralize all your energy onto one particular thought or a mental image long enough till you get to a point where your thoughts no longer waver from whatever you're fixated on. Because when most people, and this is really a meditation, all it really is about, although there are different types of meditation, it's all just about what you're focused on, essentially. And most people don't want to meditate because they think they can't focus, but really and truly, you can focus. You can focus long enough to scroll on Instagram, focus long enough to watch Netflix, you can focus long enough to read a book. The same way you can focus long enough to read a book and focus to study, focus to go on a walk somewhere. You're always utilizing your focus, so there should be no excuse. And in meditation, when your focus does wander, all you have to do is bring your focus back onto the focus of the meditation. That's the whole point of meditation, to train your brain to lessen the amount of times that it wanders off a particular topic that you're fixated on. That's the whole point of meditation. And eventually, over time, you'll be able to hold a mental image in your mind vividly and clearly for long periods of time, to the point where you don't even need special conditions. And I'll get into these special conditions in a minute. You don't need special conditions to be able to concentrate on anything. You'll notice sometimes when you want to study, you'd rather do it in silence, complete silence and solitude. That's the same with meditation, especially when you're trying. That's the same with meditation. It'll be better to do it in a quiet place where you're alone, no distractions. And by the time you get better with your focus and concentration, you'll be able to meditate anywhere. So the special conditions are solitude and silence. Be completely still and just make your body you kind of have to quieten your ego, make your body submit, because your ego is comprised of your 5 senses. So once you can tame your ego, let the body know who the master is, which is the mind. And if you want to be able to impress upon your subconscious mind for decreasing the emotional the energetic gap of importance, you want to be able to concentrate upon your ideal, the mental image of your ideal in any situation, any scenario, and able to energize you and put you in quick mental contact with the universal intelligence. Because imagining your highest ideal is essentially imagining the version of you that is fully connected with God, fully present with God, fully aware of his connection with God. So that will instantly put you in that alignment multidimensionally, in order to put you in a position to receive intuition. So you're compelled to do the right things. So that's the point you want to get to with concentration. Remember, even when you're outside anywhere, you don't have to close your eyes, do any hand signs like this. Like, just being able to concentrate anywhere, concentrate upon your ideal anywhere. So once you get better at this, you'll be able to construct a more vivid, a more clear image in your mind for your ideal anyway. What's really important with concentration, talking about being the person that is in the reality that you want to be, is to be able to infuse this mental image, your ideal mental image, with emotions as well. Enough emotions to trigger your sensory, to trigger your 5 senses. As long as you feel some sort of emotion, some sort of sensory feelings upon holding a mental image, then that's the one that you need to loop over and over. That's the one that you need to keep bringing to the front of your mind in order to align your awareness to the awareness of, to your higher awareness, so that you can keep on top of your reality. The second meditation that links with concentration is attention. Now, attention meditation is essentially just being able to gather the right thoughts that relate to you, the right thoughts, to have a clear enough mind to be able to discern which thoughts are of interest to you and conducive to the frequency of your desired reality. Now, with this meditation, all you have to do is just kind of allow your thoughts to flow. Be able to put yourself in the seat of the observer in this meditation, and don't get carried away with over identifying with thoughts. you kind of just have to let thoughts run their course without getting emotionally involved, being personal. And it's essentially just to help you clear your mind, really. And it'll also help you with contemplating on your ideal as well, because you'll start to see which thoughts do contribute to your ideal and which thoughts contradict your ideal. So over time, when you're not in solitude and silence, which are the special ideal conditions of building up your frequency, when you're not in those special conditions, you'll be able to, whenever you have any encounters with anything relating to you, let's say different opportunities, side quests, different things like encounters in the physical, you'll be able to pick out the correct objectives that won't waste your time. You know what I'm saying? You're not just taking any random side quest, because what you want out of this is to be able to centralize all your attention onto your main objective, essentially. Because where your attention is going, energy is flowing into that. So you have to be able to remember that your attention is currency. Whatever thoughts you capitalize on will be kind of like built upon in that segment of built upon. Will be built upon. Think about it like you pick for every thought you pick, you drop a coin into a piggy bank that you're saving up for to buy the identity that matches, to buy the identity of the person that has the thing that you want physically. Because your identity is your frequency, who you're being. So you want to be able to cultivate attention onto the thoughts, to be able to centralize attention onto the thoughts that are conducive to your highest ideal. And meditation, simple, just to summarize, just sit completely still for 2 to 60 minutes. Sit still, quiet your mind. You don't have to do it. All you have to do is just relax, honestly. Just relax. Make sure you're in silence and solitude, and either let your thoughts run wild to cultivate your attention, or have a focus that whenever your focus does waver, you bring it back onto the objective, to the image that you're focusing on. And another mindfulness technique that works for me very well is going on walks regularly. I usually go in the morning or sometimes in the evening. Or if I find myself kind of overloaded with thoughts in the middle of the day, I'll just go on a walk as well. So that will help you to kind of ruminate over thoughts. That's more on the attention side. And you can, for the concentration side, I just use it to kind of cultivate my mental image. So no phones, I just take a route that is, silent, and it helps with your testosterone too. Well, if you're going out when it's sunny anyway. I live in the UK, so the sun is right here, but it's summer right now, so I'm getting a lot of sun. But when your attention is spread out across different things, different objectives, you end up having many weak results. But if you can focus your attention on one objective for a long period of time, you'll be able to have you'll be a master at whatever objective you're being attentive to. All attention is just being attentive upon your interests. A jack of all trades is a master of none. It's better to at least be a master at one thing than then be mediocre at many things, kind of. And even by the time you master one thing, then you can move it out of the way and master another thing. Like, subscribe. That's all I have to say. Stay blessed.